influences your friends, but your friends' friends and your friends' friends' friends. And then I could talk about mirror neurons, and I could talk about emotional contagion, a lot of this scientific phenomenon coming out now that really speaks to this. The people you surround yourself with dramatically influence your beliefs, because their thinking are like mind viruses, and beliefs are contagious. Your social network and the way your friends behave influences your behavior, your habits. If you hang around with marathoners, there's a much greater chance you're going to get fit. There's the Framingham study that said if you are associated or your orbit has obese people in it, well, then you have a 57% chance of becoming obese yourself. And I'm not being disrespectful in any way. I'm just reporting the results of that study to make the point that you do in many ways become the people you associate with. And so what I wanted to do is just jam with you in this mastery session, not only to help you dial into the importance of really selecting your peer group with great care and great acumen, because their results are going to become your results. Their mentalities will subtly infuse your whole belief system and become your mentalities. But I also want you to come up with almost a strategy that will really help you repopulate your professional life and your personal life with the kinds of people who will get you to where you want to be so that you live a legendary life. Starting point, you just want to become aware. I mean, here's the question I want you to think about as soon as this mastery session is over. Which people in my life are de-energizing me, and which people in my life are fueling my rise to mastery? Which people in my life are toxic? Which people in my life are positive? So the first point is really deleting the energy vampires from your life. Related to that, the people who might have been great for you 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even 6 months ago, they just might no longer work. You are with me in this mastery session because you and I are cut from the same cloth. We are on a rise to mastery. We are aiming for iconic. We want to do world-class work. We want to live great lifestyles. And we want to serve humanity by the value and the examples that we live. Well, very few people, relatively speaking, on the planet think like that. If you take 1,000 people, how many people are interested in personal mastery? How many people are interested in being a leader? How many people stand for world class? Most people are interested in video games and TV shows and gossiping and complaining and just getting through the day. Okay, not judging, just reporting. So the first thing to ask yourself, so the point I'm really trying to make is the person who you were even a year ago is not who you are today. And the people who might have been great for you a year ago might no longer fit with you today. And so I would encourage you to start with that first point of awareness. Have a good hard look at the people in your life, and are they serving your rise? And are they energizing you? And are they supporting your dreams? And are they fun to be with? And is their example allowing you to rise? It's like when you play tennis, or you ski. I ski. And when I ski with someone who is way better than me, you should see me ski. Their example on the slope lifts my game subconsciously. And your social network is like that as well. The people that you're around, look at their examples and ask yourself, are they ahead of me and are they lifting my game, or are they bringing me down? Second way to pick your social network is really use the standard of values. I mean, first of all, you want to know your top 5 values. That's a great exercise to do tomorrow morning. Get up and write in your journal, what are my top 5 values? What are the 5 ideals I would take a bullet for? What are the 5 ways of being that will have mattered to me most when I'm at the end of my life? And once you know your 5 values, ask yourself, the people who I spend most of my time with, do they reflect those ideals? So let's say one of your ideals is excellence. Ask yourself, are the people in my life excellent? If one of your ideals is daily personal growth, ask yourself, am I around people who are on that path? People who are willing to look at their fears, willing to take ownership of where they might have slipped, always reading, always learning, going to the conferences, learning to meditate, learning how to dial into their craft. Are they on the path to personal mastery in their work? Do they stand for becoming titans? If not, you might not want them in your life anymore because of the influence they have on your mindset, your heart set, your physical energy, and your spiritual life. Third way to pick your peer group is to simply trust your instinct. The way you vibe with someone when you first meet them is pretty much how the relationship plays out. You see, instinct is so much more powerful than intelligence. You know, the people that I have at the beginning, I just had that feeling where something didn't feel right. That relationship, professionally, personally, it didn't work out. And I guess what I'm suggesting to you is trust your gut, trust your instinct, trust your interior wisdom. It knows more than that chattering and reasoning mind. And so let's say it's a business deal. If something just doesn't feel right to you, then have the wisdom and the discipline to say, look, I could make a lot of money and it could be really successful, but I just don't want to play with this partner because something doesn't feel right. And in your personal life, let's say it's a new friend, let's say it's a new intimate relationship. Trust your instinct, because when you listen to your instincts, things generally go well. Personally, in my life, things have worked out the best, whether it's in relationships or whether it's in business or projects, when I trusted my instinct. Even starting off with my first book, I used to be a litigation lawyer, and I got this instinctual inclination to start writing these books and start giving these presentations on leadership and personal mastery. And you know, it was like an impossible dream to a lot of people around me back then. I mean, they laughed at me and they put me down and they questioned what I was doing. They said, Robin, you know, you're going to be a world-class litigator, and there's a great chance you're going to be a judge, and you're so successful, and you've got a master's in law, and you've got everything that it takes. And look right now, you're doing so well. Why would you give that all up to be an author where no one even knows you? That's when I trusted my instinct. And it made no rational sense. And yet, because I trusted that inclination, and then I cultivated it and pursued it and followed it, you know, one of the greatest fulfillments of my life, which is to be of service to you and to travel the world, giving leadership presentations and running events like Personal Mastery Academy and the Titan Summit every year, and doing the videos that I do on the social media platforms that gives me so much fulfillment and allows me to be an instrument of service to so many people in about 100 nations. It was just because I did something that made no sense, but I trusted my instinct. Okay, and then the final thing I would say to you when it comes to picking your peer group or installing your social network is speak your truth even when your voice shakes. You know, this is all about being real in a world that teaches us put on a happy face, put on a smiley face, and tell people what they want to hear. You know, I don't think most people are dishonest. I think most people are awesome. I love humanity. Most people are really kind. Most people are really loving if you give them a chance. Most people, they're honest people. You see, people do get scared, and people sort of run out these childhood patterns that they've picked up, and they don't even know any better. And the reality is most people, unless you've done a lot of interior work on themselves, they've got these emotional and behavioral blind spots. They don't know they're being dishonest. They don't know they're being disingenuous. They don't know they're not being authentic. I mean, you won't know that you're not being authentic until you actually do the massive interior work required to be authentic, and then you go, wow, I used to be pretty fake before. What's my point? My point is, be real. Do the interior work, get to know yourself, you know, read the books, write in the journals, work with the healers, do the reflection time required, do the affirmations and the prayer and the meditation. all of those tools to do interior work, to rebuild yourself so that you're real. And then what starts to happen is this. Two things. Number one, you have the confidence and the courage to have real conversations with the people in your social network. And when you start being real, here's what happens. You actually have the true power. This is true power, where you can say, I love you, but I can no longer be with you. You're a great friend. Maybe you're a great husband. You're a great wife, but we no longer fit. And it doesn't make you wrong, but I can no longer be here. That's true power. Or you simply say, this is what I need. I'm not getting it in this social relationship, work relationship, intimate relationship. But you speak your truth even when your voice shakes. And then when you do this interior work so that you birth your natural authenticity out in the world, here's another thing. Automatically, the people who no longer fit with you just somehow walk away. Or you walk away from them. But here's the beautiful thing. New friends, new business associates, new human beings at your new level of insight, wisdom, mastery, energy, compassion, excellence, adventure, festivity, bravery, humanity. They just start showing up. And that's when you start to assemble a whole new social network that reflects the leadership and mastery level that you're now at. So choose and populate your social network well, because your friends' mindsets and mentalities will become yours through attitudinal contagion. And the way your friends and social network feel, if they're confident and brave, well, then you'll feel confident and brave. And if they're weak and timid, you'll start to feel that way through the scientific phenomenon of emotional contagion. If your friends are dishonest, there's a great chance you will start cutting corners in terms of your ethics. If your peer group is weak and average and full of victimhood, there's a great chance that you will take the gorgeous potential you were born with or have right now and disassemble it and become average just like them. Choose your network well, because that's what your life is going to look like.